Yo, call me a bottle the way I go full throttle. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Kids. Today, and only today, we are here to talk about Smash Bros. And Mario Kart. What is next? Where can these two franchises go? I feel like this conversation has started and brought back to light because Mario Kart 8 just had its 5th wave of DLC. Love those tracks, by the way. Some fire courses, we've got some more characters, and we've got one wave left. And Smash Bros. Has been done for a while, so it feels like this era of these two grandiose Nintendo franchises that just had their biggest games in their series by far, right? In a very ultimate fashion for both of them. People are struggling to find out what is going to happen next. So of course, subscribe to your boy here and enjoy this episode where I get right into that. So let's start with Smash, right? Obviously a game, its DLC support has been done for about 2 years now. Very sad to see, actually. I miss the days of Smash. There's nothing better than Smash's DLC, but when that game ended, right, it felt like it wasn't just the end of, a game cycle, it was like the end of something insane because we're at the point where, Sakurai is semi-retired. We got to a point where even, Sakurai himself said, there's no way they could top this. And even like in terms of gaming stuff, it's like we pretty much have gotten almost every major possible character ever in Smash. Obviously, there's still a ton of hype choices they could add. They could add their Dantes, their Doom guys, their Halos, and you could still have a ton of hype moments. But the big guns, the wishes, the dreams, mostly all happen. So where do you go from there? Now, I feel like with the next Smash, there's multiple routes. Now, route one is that for the next console, Smash kind of pulls the Mario Kart 8 thing where they make Smash Ultimate Deluxe, packed in with all the DLC characters, and Sakurai's like, hey, I got a little treat for you, and they add a few more characters and a few more stages. I think that's the most kind of safe route they could take if they just want, some more sales units of the game, but also we're in a weird position where the Switch is going to be backwards compatible, so you can't really sell the game again unless, again, you add some content to the game for existing users. I don't know. That to me is the most safest route, but it's also the most kind of boring route because when it comes to Smash, I would love at this point a reimagining of the series. Keep it to its core. Obviously, you can't change the genre of it, right? I still want it to be percentages, and I still want it to be a 2D fighter and knocking out people 4-player Smash, but I would like, the gameplay style to be reimagined. I want the OG cast, right? Like your Mario, DK, Luigi, Donkey Kong, everybody. I want them to have movesets that like just are completely different and fit their modern variations. Like Mario is so lame compared to what he could be. Mario has had so many power-ups over the years that he should be so much cooler. Like Mario's side B should be Rock Mario from Galaxy. His neutral B should be, he can toss Cappy, hit an enemy and come back to his own body. There's so many with Mario. There's double cherry power-ups. There's new power-ups that are probably going to be in Mario Wonder. There's a ton of stuff from Odyssey. It's like Mario has changed so much since the original days. Like having a side B that's a cape and a down B that's Flood when no one today even knows who Flood is except if you grew up with Sunshine is kind of wild. So I would love stuff like that. Even Donkey Kong having more movesets from stuff like Tropical Freeze, or Luigi, using more of the poltergeist and moves from Luigi's Mansion. Samus having an updated suit and fit from Metroid Dread and the new Prime 4 that's going to be out. Like the base characters can change so much since their original, stylings of those games that they've kept together that it'd be so refreshing. And almost like it would almost make me like look forward to re-reveals of characters. Like I would love to see even like a third-party character like Sonic. Like obviously we've talked about this a million times, but Sonic having a new moveset for Smash Bros would be fire. Give him an entire moveset from Sonic Frontiers since that's the direction of the series. Other characters that could be re-added in and re-evaluated. Like I just feel like if you hone in on like Nintendo's characters, give them all new brand new movesets, and even give some third-party characters some new kits, you could have something pretty exciting without needing a roster of 80 plus characters, because no matter what, the next Smash is going to feel in some way like a downgrade. It's going to be, I think it's going to be the most controversial release. Truly, it really is, but I think it's going to be very exciting for people that are genuine fans of Nintendo and fighting games that really want to see the series grow and be crazier and be cool and add more style and flair to it. I would love if specials were integrated more into Smash, like something like, like how every, fighting game has a level 3 or a special. Like, I'd love if that was integrated into Smash. They kind of started that with like the cutscene level 3s that they have in Smash Ultimate, but they're not balanced. You know, if there was a way to have those, balance them and do something crazy, I would love that. And a big thing I want in the next Smash is just hone back in on the single player content. Give me something like a Subspace. I would much rather a Subspace sequel that hones in on Nintendo's characters, where you can have something crazy and fun with cutscenes, instead of something impossible, because again, there are 80 characters and you can't give them all spotlight. You know, just do something for the core cast, add DLC, of course, and I'm sure there's gonna be third-party characters and characters that stay. I don't think that the roster would be that small either. I mean, I feel like we could get a roster of like 20 to 30 characters, but they're just completely redone and remixed. As much as I think Sakurai would be part of this project, I feel like he'd be supervising this time around rather than being the director. Obviously, with Smash, I think that's the coolest route they could go. Just reimagine, make new modes, make new things, and even just use more Nintendo characters that could be creative and fun. Just lean into something new in a different direction, because I think Smash Ultimate can't be beaten. It is what it is, so let that thing exist. Let Ultimate be the new Melee, you know, where people are always gonna have a side tournament for it just because of how crazy that roster is. But let this new game be like something that can flourish and be peak. Now, of course, we have Mario Kart, right? With Mario Kart, this is a big one that I often think about, right? What do you do for Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart 10? Because technically, I know they count Mario Kart Tour as mainline, so that could be Mario Kart 9, and then the next game might be Mario Kart 10. What do they do for that game, right? That game also, like, it's funny, with this new wave of DLC that no one really expected, this game randomly became Mario Kart Ultimate. I mean, we pretty much have almost every major racetrack in the series back in the game. We also have original racetracks in the game from, you know, the base game. We also have a ton of characters, and yeah, like, it feels like there's so much in the game. But I do think with Mario Kart, there's a lot more to be desired in terms of like content wise, right? Like, because right now all you can really do is race, and I think the only fun thing to do is racing. And obviously it's a racing game, but it's a Mario Kart racing game. You know, bring me back the mission mode from DS. You know, that was such a fun way to, you know, play that game, right? Like an enhanced single player where you're not just doing races, you know, that are just one in a row, but like you have some stuff in between. You have stuff you can unlock. Obviously keep the car part customization, but obviously do a lot more to the game. And one big thing I want more than anything is just take the format of Mario Kart Tour, but don't obviously monetize it like they did with Tour. Like, for me, I would love a Mario Kart that every month we can look forward to new costumes, new events, you know, and give me different types of races, you know, like the ones where, you know, you're going through the rings, or give me time trial type beats, or ones where you got to collect as many coins as possible, or even, again, in Mario Kart DS, there were bosses. That's awesome. Like, lean into the fun side of Mario Kart for the single player content. And obviously, a big other question I have is the gimmick, right? Obviously, with Mario Kart 8, the gimmick was the anti-gravity. On the Wii, it was the motion control / the bikes. Obviously, you had Double Dash back in the day with the double carts. And I know a lot of people want to see the Double Dash mechanic come back. I would love that. I think that's just a good idea, because again, it means there would be more characters, and it's always just been fun to have that idea of rotating between which character you use, and it was fun for local co-op. So I would love if they brought back a Double Dash mechanic, but I know Nintendo likes to be weird and different, so I don't know what the gimmick could be. I would love if they brought back special items. In Mario Kart, Double Dash characters had specific special items you would get depending on what team you were in. Like, you know, if you were the two princesses, you would get a bunch of mushrooms. I just want the next Mario Kart to be something, you know, crazy in that. And obviously with Mario Kart, the racetracks are the most important thing. And I know this is a weird one, right? Because with Mario Kart, it's sort of like they make original tracks, but those tracks are also like, some of them are Mario-ified, DK-ified, Wario-ified. But I would love, I mean, if we leaned into more Nintendo stuff. I know people don't want to become Nintendo Kart, but I don't think there's any harm in, you know, having a Kirby Cup, or having, you know, an F-Zero Cup. We already have 2 F-Zero tracks. Having more Animal Crossing tracks, Hyrule tracks. Like, there are so many things within Nintendo you could do for cool levels that I would love something like that. Again, it doesn't need to be that the game is that, but I would love, you know, a DLC pack that is like, hey, here's the Kirby Cup, right? But the base game could be, you know, all the crazy original Mario Kart levels that we know and love, with the fake product placements and all this stuff. Like, I still think they're gonna invest in those, but I would just love them to lean a little bit more into that, because it was so exciting when we got Link and we got Hyrule Circuit, and seeing how well crafted it was with all the little Easter eggs, and even the Animal Crossing track, or even Splatoon's track in battle mode. Like, there's so many little cool things I trust Nintendo to do. And please, Nintendo, invest and a better roster. You know, it took until the DLC of Mario Kart 8 to get a better roster. Now we're getting Petey, we're getting Wiggler, we're getting Kamek. Like, the base roster of that game was abysmal. So to finally, you know, have an even better roster, keep the hype going and all that stuff would be fire. But Nintendo definitely has a challenge up ahead of them. You know, these are games that I know are being worked on. Like, there's no way right now there is not a conversation or even development going on of a sequel to Smash. Some people think Smash is done, and those people I think are crazy. You have to understand, this is not just like a banger fighting game for them. This is a game that has sold nearly 30 million copies for a fighting game or any game. That is insane. They are going to make another game no matter what you think. You know, I know some people think it's sacred and they're not going to touch it, but it's going to happen. You know, and I think it's better we accept that and we accept what changes are coming potentially to that game than to leave it behind. And with Mario Kart, again, Mario Kart is definitely an easier answer. It's just about more with something new. You know, just give me more, but with a new fresh coat of paint. But with Smash, they definitely have a big challenge ahead of them. But I also trust Nintendo. I mean, these are their two biggest IPs. They both sold a quadrillion copies, enough to fund a crazy project that I think everyone's going to be happy with. Because ultimately, ultimately, that was fucking lit. Fuck you for that. This is Nintendo's bread and butter. I mean, when we think of Nintendo's consoles, right, they always have their banger for the console, you know, and that is a Mario Kart, a Smash game, their 3D, 2D Mario, their Zelda game, their Animal Crossing, and honestly now they're Splatoons, you know, and those are like their big guns. So as long as they always, you know, have those doing numbers, there's always going to be a new one. But I'm very curious to see what direction they go in those, because I think whenever the next Smash is revealed, I feel like it's partially going to be a nightmare, because there's no matter what going to be people saying this is a downgraded roster, where are all the characters, and you're gonna have a lot of casual people that don't care about fighting games too much being like, where's my main, you know? So there's definitely going to be a challenge with what they do in addressing, you know, how they're adding characters and all this stuff. But again, I trust Nintendo to figure out, because I think they know there's a lot of work ahead of them. So guys, let me know what you think. What do you want from the next Mario Kart or the next Smash Bros, and what are you looking forward to the most? Of course, thank you all for watching. You are the best, and of course, I will see you all next time. Peace out.